motion for any, with the motion for emergency or with the proposed rules that are coming up, you're probably going to get sued for your decision regardless. And in my opinion, that's what happens when 2 years of inaction, it leaves little options on the table other than that. So I just challenge you to consider, when you do get sued, when you make your decision, you do so and consider that you could do so against the people that are the root of the problem that have caused this to begin with. You could do so against those that are actually trying to bring solutions and have been following the law this entire time. Thank you.
Chris Lottridge. And Joe Morgan, you'll be next.
My name is Chris Lottridge. I live at 14138 Finsbury Drive, Spring Hill, Florida. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Like I said, my name is Chris Lottridge, and I'm the operations officer for Drive Society. My job ultimately is to ensure that our day-to-day workflow remains constant once we start our engines. Now, I know one of the biggest challenges that we're going to have is going to be the imminent liabilities that are going to take place once we start operating. Now, while I was exploring this region and trying to learn more about it, I found a couple of things that were quite startling to me, and I wanted to share my thoughts on them. I have firsthand knowledge because I was an Uber and a Lyft driver. There are threats to the public that are taking place, that the passengers unknowingly put themselves in these vehicles that are not documented, no vehicle inspections, and there's also people out there with no driver's licenses. Now, I was able to verify during the time that the PTC issued citations for Uber and Lyft drivers, there were a couple different things that they found when they ran their own background, and that was only for the state of Florida. They found such things as drug offenses, prostitution, illegal firearms, false imprisonment, domestic violence. They also found drivers without a valid driver's license, people that have had suspended licenses. They also found people that have had driver's license suspended or revoked indefinitely. And I ask you, how does that happen if they're producing these background checks? Obviously, something's not working. And like I said, that's only in the state of Florida. Keep in mind, fun fact, Florida only has 1/3% of the population that is native residents. So that means 66% of the people that live in Florida come from other states. So could you imagine if they ran the background checks throughout the other states nationwide? Personally, I don't see how a government agency designed to regulate this market and ensure the safety of the traveling public has allowed this to happen for over 2 years. Now, I think it's your responsibility to enact these measures as swiftly as possible, as it is my responsibility to make sure that 100% of the drivers are accounted for and operating safely. I ask that you cast aside your political divides and personal egos and agendas and put the safety that the public has entrusted you with. I represent Drive Society, but I'm here for the passengers and the drivers. The passengers deserve to have vehicles that are inspected. They deserve to have fair rates at non-surge. They deserve to have drivers with valid driver's licenses. The drivers that have been driving also deserve to get fair rates, which they have not been getting from the companies. Thank you for your time.
Okay, I need to make a correction to the record. This agency at no time has ever allowed anyone to operate illegally in Hillsborough County. We have at all times utilized every tool in our toolbox to shut down operators that were not licensed. So wherever you got your information, you need to go back and re-research it because you were wrong. Next, Joe Morgan.
Hello, my name is Joe Morgan. I'm the liaison with Drive Society for Central Florida, which includes Hillsborough County. I, like most of my colleagues at Drive Society, was once an Uber driver, and I too understand how incredibly dangerous it was for me personally, which is why I stopped. Well, When I was offered an opportunity to join Drive Society, I did so because of the exact reason we are here today. I've lived in Tampa my entire life, and it disturbs me to see the way that these drivers have been treated collaterally because of the things that have been allowed to happen. This is a real opportunity for you to regain the leadership that was stripped away from you when these companies came in and decided to play by their own rules. I hope you take it and run with it. I'm proud to represent a company that is trying to work with communities and not against them, and I'm hopeful you